All right, Shalom. This is the brother Kaya from the gym. That's Louisiana Saints coming back at you with another quick lesson. Prior to getting started, as I always do, I'd like to give infinite honors and prayers to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to the Occams that's pushing the truth and sincerity. And Lord willing, this video will be edifying first and foremost to the whole elect, then to those that cleave to the body. And to them, I get into a little health lesson. All right. And this jumped out at me. You know, when I seen it, is melatonin. All right. And I'm pretty sure, you know, Jake may be familiar with this, or if you don't know, all right, if you're a brother or somebody that's in a loop or serving the Lord, you know, we got to know pretty much what's going on. All right. And I first learned this of a woman or whatnot I used to fuck with and I used to deal with, right? That she was giving the kids, melatonin. Okay, well, her child melatonin, and you know what jumped out at me? It was like, I was like, "What you giving her that for?" Oh, so she could go to sleep. All right, and she mentioned like, "Oh yeah, well, when she went to sleep, you know, she was really sleeping. She was slobbing. She was doing all sorts of shit, man. All right, like, you know, malfunctioning while she was asleep. And she was sleeping excessive hours, as if like, you know, a kid, you look at a kid that's, you know, a handful, 4 years old, 3, whatever, just giving a number out. That child, you know, sleep more or less than none, you know, from not studies, but just experience with me having children, all right, and just watching these sleep patterns or have seen these sleep patterns, right? A child don't have long periods of sleeping, all right? Now, that's not to say they can't sleep long if they're tired or whatever or whatnot, right? They usually sleep longer if they're tired, but usually a child kind of they sleep and they get up, all right? And they don't, you know, be in deep sleeps unless they're extremely tired. But anyways, just to go into the side effect in which this this poison, this drug that a lot of these women give to their kids, man. All right. So they can release themselves from stress, the children getting on their nerves, running around or whatever the case may be. A lot of women adopted this, man. They adopted this drug, which is a poison for the kids. It's called melatonin. And another reason I want to jump in it, because I believe my woman, one time, I believe she gave it to my daughter. And she, you know, she wasn't, always did it or nothing like that. She had never did it before. But, you know, when you got a little, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, whatever the case may be, right? Yeah, she would get on your nerves and you want to go to sleep, different things like that, because she proactive. All right, she's real, touching everything or whatever the case may be. But, I'm just bringing this analogy out, and she gave it to her one time, and I saw her, and I was like, "What are you doing? Do you know what that is?" She like, "No, it's just sleeping medicine or whatever." I see people, on Instagram and YouTube, like, and just random people in the world giving their children this, and like, "Oh, she slept so good, so long. Once I give it to her, she go straight to sleep. I ain't got to worry about her." And women just actually do that so they could get off with a nigga, commit adultery, whatever the case may be. Just get time from their children, all right? And don't care that it can be hazardous to their health, all right? Yeah, they can overdose, all right? There's different things that they can do. That's why I'm going to read this article, all right? And just, going to the importance of you, I can, see your woman, and we never know what our women really doing, right? With the children when we gone and, whatever the case may be. But if you see such things as this, man, giving your woman giving your child sleeping medicine and different things like that, man, we men of the Lord, that shit ain't supposed to rock, all right? So I actually told her about it. Not only did I tell her about it, I took it from her. Like, why would you give her this, man? All right? Oh, I just thought, a lot of girls and women say they giving that to their children and their children is sleeping, all right, and they being able to get peace or whatever the case may be. But nah, man, you don't deal like that, you see? But this is It says melatonin poison reports are up in kids, study says. All right. Now let me do something real quick, right? I looked this up, right? It says chemical formed in the pineal gland of mammals that regulates certain psychological activities, man. All right. It says see melatonin ending with serotonin, so called because its secretion is inhabited by sunlight or because it changes the skin color of certain reptiles and amphibians. All right. It says this the point. It says hormone secreted by the pineal gland, man. All right. So they're giving our children hormones, all right. It says a regulatory substance produced in the organism and transported into the tissue fluid such as blood or sap to simulate specific cells or tissues into action. All right. So they're injecting our children or, whatever with these, giving them to take this, and this hormones that goes back into reptiles, man. All right, as it read. All right. A synthetic substance with an effect similar to that of animal or plant hormones. All right. A person's sex hormones. All right, that's something else. All right. See real quick. All right. So this is what they were not knowing what you're injecting, okay, into the children, man. Chemicals for mammals, man. Our women bug the fuck out, man. It says melatonin poisoning reports are up in kids. Study says now. It says the label for a bottle of melatonin pills is seen in New York on Thursday. Melatonin is a hormone that helps control the body's sleep cycle. And you don't need to control your sleep cycle. All right? You need to go to sleep when it's time to go to sleep and wake up when it's time to wake up. And it throws off the sleep cycle. It don't control it. All right? It's sent it through a stage of oversleeping. All right? Overslobbing, all type of things, man. And the little who I used to fuck with, all right, and she gave it to her child and was laughing like, oh, this be having her slobbing and doing everything. She was making mockery out of it, man. It says researchers are drawing attention to rise in poison in children involving asleep and melatonin, including a big jump during the pandemic. Last year, U.S. Poison Control Centers received more than 52,000 calls about children consuming worrisome amounts of the dietary supplement, a six-fold increase from about a decade earlier. Most such calls are about young children who accidentally got into the bottles of melatonin, some of which in the form of gummies are for kids, which is a fucking lie. These women is up in the doses and giving the children more and more so they could sleep longer, so they could go commit adultery and shit, man. It says parents may think of melatonin as the equivalent of a vitamin and leave it on a nightstand, said Dr. Karma Lelat, an emergency physician at Children's Hospital of Michigan and lead author of the study published Thursday by the Centers for CDC and Prevention. But really it's a medication that has the potential to cause harm and should be put away in the medicine cabinet. Melatonin is a hormone that helps control the body's sleep cycle. It has become a popular over-the-counter sleeping aid with sales increasing 150% between 2016 and 2020, the author says. And a lot of these women been getting the urge to do more and more things, man. So this has become a popular tool that these women use. All right? In the U.S., melatonin is sold as a supplement, not regulated as a drug. It's a drug, though, because melatonin is unregulated. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration doesn't have oversight over the purity of ingredients or the accuracy of dosage claims. Other researchers have found that what's on the label may not match what's actually in the bottle. Wow, look at this. And some countries have banned the sale over-the-counter melatonin. How are melatonin overdoses treated? Many people can tolerate even relatively large doses of melatonin without significant harm, experts say. But there's no antidote for an overdose. In cases of a child accidentally ingesting melatonin, experiences often ask a reliable adult to monitor them at home. But slow breathing and other worrisome signs can mean a child should be taken to the hospital. Lelik, what did the researcher find? Lelik and her colleagues looked at reports to poison control centers from 2012 to 2021, counting more than 260,000 calls about children taking too much melatonin. They represented 0.6% of all poison controls called in 2020, 2012, and about 5% in 2021. And about 83% of those calls, the children did not show any symptoms. But other children endured vomiting and altered breathing or showed other symptoms. Over the 10-year study, more than 4,000 kids were hospitalized. 5 needed to put on machines to help them breathe, and 2 younger than 2 died. And you know E play with numbers. Most of the hospitalized children were teenagers, and many of those believed to be suicide attempts. What happened during the pandemic? Reported melatonin poisons have been increased for at least a decade, but the largest increase happened after the C-19 pandemic hit the United States in 2020. Between 2019 and 2020, the count shot up 38%. It says because of lockdowns and virtual learning, more children were at home all day, which was getting on the women's nerve. All right? So what you do when you get on some nerve to get a peace of mind? They get a children melatonin, extra doses, whatever, to go to sleep every time. It says, meaning there were more opportunity for kids to access melatonin. Also, the pandemic caused sleep disrupting stress and anxiety that may have caused more families to consider melatonin. It says children were upset about being home. Teenagers were closed off from friends. And on top of that, everyone's looking at screens for hours and hours a day, Lelik said. All right. So, yeah, man. Again, women is bugged the fuck out, man, concerning these things, you know. This is Job 39:16. It says she is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Why would you give, you know, your flesh and blood, something you carried for 9 months? So she came out of me, however the women say. All right. Why you would give her who you love, all right, something that could potentially harm them or have them cause for an overdose, man? Women don't read shit. They go buy shit and give it to the children, all right? Whatever stop the bleeding, all right? Pretty much, you know? It says her labor is in vain without fear. And the things that she's doing unto her children is without fear, man. It says because Yahweh had deprived her of wisdom, neither had he imparted to her understanding. So these hoes don't know better, man. They think what's helping the kids, all right, is actually hurting them. Because they don't read, they don't have understanding, all right? They don't have patience, you know? They're not properly raising these kids correctly, man. Most of them will get the kids away if they can every weekend, all during the week, man. And barely be with them, man. You see? Barely want to put up with the children, man. But want to have sex all fucking day. Okay? Now ain't gonna be long. Just get some precepts and get out of here, man. And Akim, if your women giving the children slick side, there's some shit you might not be knowing. If you notice your sleeping pattern on your daughter is heavy, slobbing in particular shit, man, check into that, man. There's Lamentation 4:3. It says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their little ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel like the ostriches in the wilderness. And the ostrich don't give a fuck if they step on the egg or crack their own egg with their children in it or break it. All right. They got the stretch fork necks. You can't tell them nothing. They real rebellious. All right. And they don't understand shit, man. Neither do they consider they don't understand. All right. And the sea monsters, the animals, know to treat and breast and feed their children the right things, man. And cater to them that they may live. All right. A real mother not going to give their child nothing that can hurt them or harm them, man. Okay. And they're going to be cognitive of what they giving in doses and taking to their children, man. You see? But the daughter of our people, they become cruel, man. You know? Not giving a fuck. Cruel, fierce.
Strong's H 393. Achzar. Achzar.
Yeah, it says in a strong definition, apparent meaning to act harshly, violent, by implication deadly. Okay? These women have become deadly unto the children, man. You see? And the children don't know no better. They just take and get whatever mommy give them, man. Okay? The daughters of Israel have become cruel, especially to these children that they love so much and would die for and do anything and pick over the man. All right? They'll risk their lives, knowingly or unknowingly. So I'll be watching Zada was edifying, man. Until next time, I say shalom.